One cannot truly operate in their full potential unless they understand the trionness of their being, spirit, soul, and body. Recognizing all three parts of existence can truly excel them to their next level of maturity and ingenuity. The picture depicts a well-fitted body with a head of an iron expressing gender, age, and stature is not a challenge, but rather a state of mind to excel. It's not a riddle or a puzzle, but figure it out. Welcome to Own Us, the podcast, the voice for the incarcerated. I'm your host, BG Ali, and the co-host is the Black Sheep. We're doing part 2, you know what I'm saying, for my boy Duroc Creep. You know what I'm saying? And just like I said in part 1, if the impossible has already been made possible, who are we to not seek the possibility? Even Spider Loke had to give it up because of the, Creep situation. He said, it's no excuse not to get it cracking. And this man ambition and his drive to continue to be relevant, even though he behind walls in prison, he's
you
still making it happen.
You talking about the rapper Spider-Lo?
Yeah.
The original Spider-Lo?
Spider-Lo said it. I don't make this stuff up. Just hold on for 1 minute.
This is my homie Creep from Duroc. His quality might not be the best due to his circumstances. I'm going to say less on the situation. Those that know. But this also proved ain't no excuse not to get it cracking. Creep from Duroc. It's the Draws Down Challenge. Don't get caught with your drawers down. Oh, my mama do like.
Don't get caught with the drawers down. Don't get caught with the drawers down.
Man said ain't so on my son in a dead low. Sneaking caught him slipping with his booty to the sky, bro. Nigga, how you lie, though? You get the gay vibes, yo. Laid across the bed, want a man between the stars. Whack, ho, no honey. Want a fade that's running. Man, fuck it, we can gun it, but I know you don't want it. You ain't on that level, stick to banging naked in chats. Or a nigga change your channel with this infamous gas. It's the Google gang. Google what I do to your man. On behalf of Spider Locust, fuck you too, gang. Me and Doja, bitch, boy, it's over. Better keep it on the swivel, never know when I'm on you.
Don't get caught with the drawers down. Don't get caught with the drawers down. Don't get caught with the drawers down. Don't get caught with the drawers down.
Snoopy badass and let you catch you tooted or two. Cause we fuck so many times, got a question to do. Shoot your poo and shit all over your shoe. So the stand is better than your fucking cooter is loose. Don't you ever send a threat to any Google affiliate. Idiot, we know what fucking city you living in. Get your Jerry curl blue back to a big wave. I see the day when I'ma catch your ass in it Escalade. Nigga play the game when you thought you were safe. California, man, we boot your niggas out of the state. I'm praying for the day I'm standing over your way so I can piss and toss crib to your homeboy's face.
Don't get caught with the drawers down. Don't get caught with the drawers down. Don't get caught with the drawers down. Don't get caught with the drawers down.
Shout out Duroc Creep. Go tap in with the homie Draws Down Challenge going up.
All right, man. Welcome back to Own Us, the voice for the incarcerated. How's things going, man? Introduce yourself in case people didn't see the last episode.
Yeah, I'm Duroc Creep. You know, in case y'all don't know me, in case y'all ain't never heard the name, not familiar with me, or you didn't catch the last episode that I was gratefully invited to appear on this beautiful podcast. You know what I'm saying? So I'm Duroc Creep. You know, I do music, rap. You can find my music on all digital platforms.
Okay. So, the last time when we met up, we had a serious question, if we had a right word at the right time for the youth. And we paused on that because it wasn't a question that can just be answered off the top of the head without giving it any thought. But before we get into that, we're going to get into the music part of you making things happen. behind the walls. You know what I'm saying? I see that you got some more music about to appear, you know what I'm saying, surface up. You want to go into that and elaborate on that?
Yeah, I can get into that a little bit, man. I actually been working on this album for a minute now. You know, the name of the album is called Beautiful Nightmares. You know what I'm saying? It's an album that me and Spider Low putting together. You know what I'm saying? I'm signed to Baby Mac Entertainment. You know what I mean? So this is a album that's been in the works for a minute. You know what I mean? So I've been putting, you know, pieces together on this one and trying to make it as bomb as possible. You know, West Coast class.
Okay, it's called Beautiful Nightmares?
Beautiful Nightmares.
Beautiful Nightmares. Oh, okay. And so how's it, you know, being in prison for as long as you have been in prison, able to work with you know, I call him a ghetto classic. I like old Spider Low. How's it working with old Spider Low?
Man, it's amazing. You know what I mean? I mean, outside of the legend that he is in the music game, you know, just knowing him as a man and knowing what he really about, it gives me even more pleasure of it makes working over there a million times more better because you know this individual, you know this man, you know he stand on everything that he put out there, bro. So it's wonderful working over there.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, you know, knowing Spider Low, or knowing of him, and you know, I've seen him in various places back in the days when I was, you know, cruising through, you know what I'm saying, the Six Pack and other little places. I know his nature is more like, you know, glamourifying, you know, the Crip life, and we all have this thing where we know that music is influence, and sometimes people who's listening take it too far, or they not understanding how to differentiate that a man is telling his past or a part of his ghetto experience through music. So with music being a high influence, what's your take on that when you partake in, you know, giving your lyrics and your rhymes and your talent, and knowing that, you know, youngsters gonna listen to it and other people and they gonna judge it? What's your take on that?
That's a good question. That's a real good question, man. And the reason why I say that's a good question is because that's something that is often debated. You know what I mean? What people rap about, what you choose to apply into your music, whether it be from life experiences or just being imaginative. You know what I mean? But I look at us rappers as pastors and priests. You know what I mean? And you know, you got to understand one thing about the homie Spider. You know, he's a very intelligent guy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? He has a back history of, you know, preaching. You know what I mean? So if you listen to his music and how he construct his songs, listen how deep it is. It's more than gangbanging. It's way deeper than gangbanging, bro. Way deeper. Look at the picture that is being painted out before you. Go listen to the song EC that he made. Listen to that's all of our life story painted in the song.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And when he made that song, he was so passionate about making the song where he did the song and afterwards didn't realize that the beat that he recorded that song on was a tag beat. And he went out his way to try to buy that beat and get that beat and push it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying that to say this is how passionate, you know, you are as an artist about pushing your music out there. We all are. So being that I'm a Crip that's doing this music, it don't mean that that's just what it's gonna be about. You know what I mean? And even if I do some crip type of music, it's gonna be a picture painted up in there where you can relate, I can relate. If you don't relate, one of your homeboys gonna be able to relate to it. If you don't, one of your brothers gonna be able to relate to it. You're gonna hear him bumping it, and you're gonna be like, damn, I always hear you bumping, like, who is that? And then you're gonna get curious why he keep on, and then you're gonna start, and then you might start feeling, and so on and so on.
Exactly. Okay, that's a good take on it, influence, but on a higher level of being ridiculed for the music, you know, that you make. How you feel about that? What's your angle on that? Of, you know what I'm saying, people who dislike it or call it a contradictory statement that we look for change, we won't change, but then hearing the music, they use lyrics against our actual character. What's your take on that?
Well, I'm painting a picture of what I see, of what my reality is. I can't sit in a certain position and talk about being in Dubai, and I've never lived in Dubai.
Exactly.
I don't know the culture. I don't know the lifestyle. I don't know the women. I don't know the upbringing. I don't know the religion like that. I don't know nothing about Dubai. So how can I sit in this position and rap about Dubai and how good of a life I can't rap about that.
Exactly.
I can't paint no picture. I mean, I can go read a book about Dubai and paint you a picture like from a book, but that's not firsthand knowledge.
No.
That's not my experience.
And there's no authenticity in that. It when people rap about something and the emphasis and their passion of how they articulate their words is predicated on experience. It's a picture that can be painted, you know, through experience. So I only ask this because I can always give answers to particular things from my point of view, which I'm not a rapper, but which I admire all rappers who's authentic to themselves, because I can differentiate whether we telling you to go out there and shoot or such behaviors, but we all done, play with the feel of women and cheating and the thug life and etc. So to be able to articulate a song and give you a particular feel on something by an expression that's within, I think it's a beautiful thing. I think it's no other than literature. It's art. It's the same thing why they, give Tupac his props and make him a poet. And all you guys are poets because you are articulating words to where it penetrates through the vibrations of wires, and thousands of people are hearing this. You get what I'm saying? But I think the downside is them being able to have the narrative of how we telling our story, that they criticize or says bad influence when politics and America is showing the influence that they have with, they have the money to fund 2 wars. But here is homeless and helplessness here right in America. And people, of all races, ask me different things of how I feel about being American. And that was presented to me like how your government has so much money to do certain things. And I just said, I can't really say I'm proud to be American, being in America, because of you seeing hand in hand how we get treated as American. And here they would want us to go fight for their war or fight, for things we don't even believe in, when we don't even get the same benefits, being from this place. But not to deviate from the script or the topic, them are my reasons for, asking, about what you feel about certain influence. So, anyway, moving on, what is really, you really, music seemed to be your escape route. And, man, I'm just, I give you your props. But let's go into depths with music to you, because I mean, like I said, the viewers may not viewed in, it may be their first time viewing. So kind of give them, how long you've been down and what got you through, certain things. It's like a recap. For those who've seen it, they already understand. But for those who didn't see the last episode, let's go into that. What music is to you.
All right. Well, I've been locked up, man, for 28 going on 29 years now. And throughout the course of that time, I've been doing music. I was doing music before that, but throughout the course of that time, I've been doing music. The vast majority of that time, you know what I'm saying, kind of off and on in between a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But for the majority of that time, I kind of kept up with it, you know what I mean? So it means a lot to me because it's the perfect escape route to focus in on something that I know that I'm good at, something that I know that I can put messages in to get out to the masses, you know what I mean, and help and touch somebody. If I can help and touch somebody through words, through my poetry, you know what I mean? So that's been the perfect escape route for me. And it means a lot to me to be able to continue to do it and see the benefits from it. And what I mean by the benefits is the acknowledgement from the people that I'm really trying to reach out there and touch. You know what I'm saying? And those are the people that come up in the same upbringing that I did. You know what I mean? That went through some of the same things that I did, and some of the same trenches that I've been in.
So when you articulate a song, do you predicate it off a beat, feel, or a message that you have within that you want to get out to your audience? What makes you create, or what pushes your lyrics for a particular song?
A lot of the times, man, I go through beats. I get a lot of beats, you know what I mean, from a lot of different producers. So I go through a lot of these beats, and I know if I'm feeling something like right off the top. If I hear the beat, I'm gonna know if I'm like off the top. If I'm feeling it, bam, I'm gonna just go in on the song. I'm gonna store it right then and there, bam. And once I store that, then I'll put that to the side, and I'll just continue to repeat that process. And I'll go to a certain amount, then I'll go back through that path and just work my way through the songs. Just knock them down like that.
Okay. All right, let's switch gears, man. Let's switch gears. Day one of they release you, day one. What's your main goals? Day one. What's gonna be your main goals other than, the norms? I ain't gonna go with the norms of, knowing, exactly what's want to do. But what's your, first set of goals, day one, back into society?
Day one, I probably want to step out, man, and breathe in the fresh, free air.
Breathe the fresh air. Day one. Okay. The fresh air. All right.
Step out there, look up to the sky, the great blue sky, you know what I'm saying, and breathe in that fresh air freedom.
Okay. Then that's the first. What's gonna be your second, man? What's gonna drive and motivate you to forever continue moving on and letting incarceration be behind you? Family. Number one drive. Good answer. Good answer. So it's looking good for you, right? Looking good for you?
Oh, yeah, man. It's just, we on the countdown, you know what I mean? So just on the waiting right now, you know what I mean? But it's looking real good.
Okay, that's what's up. Now with all that motivation, ambition, making moves happen from behind the wall, let's get to that question, if we had something, a word, a moment to reach a youth, what would that be?
In a word, I don't know if I can think of one word to say to any of the youngsters out there to trigger something in them, but I can think of a few words.
Okay, good answer. Good answer.
And one thing that I would like to get across to them, man, I understand that you got a lot of people that probably talk at you, talk down to you, you know what I mean? And the message probably come across wrong, although the person that's talking to you might be well intended. A lot of us don't know how to talk.
Speak on it. Speak on it.
Bluetooth disconnected.
We're not good communicators. You know what I mean? So it might be well intended on trying to get your message across to them, but it's just coming out all crazy and messed up. You know what I mean? But I don't ever want to come across as a hypocrite or somebody that you know is speaking down to them because I've been through this. No, I want you to look at me as a prime example. You know what I mean? If I'm invited to any table, then let me be the person. I don't mind being the person that can give you life advice on certain situations that you might not want to end up in. You know what I mean? I don't mind being that person. You know, so if I need to sit down with you and talk to you and point out different scenarios about different situations that you could end up in, because I've been there and I can tell you from firsthand experience what the outcome of this situation could be if you choose to go that route. Now, you can take that and apply that however you may, but I want to give you that blueprint. This is a cheat sheet for you. If you choose to go in this route right here, if it's a bad route, if it's a bad, you know, journey, then I'm gonna step up and give you that proper knowledge, bro. I'm not talking down to you or none of that. I'm trying to help you because I don't want to see you crash like I crashed.
Exactly. So it's amazing to me that, you know, they use trick psychology, meaning that you ask somebody something in a way that you feel is no answer to, when the vast majority would think it is an answer to, and then it's ironic that you answer it correctly, because there is no one word. If any man who ever participated in a game lifestyle to where we gravitated because of the no father in the homes and the different circumstances of life cause us to live this journey, it's nothing you can tell me. Only thing you can do is show me.
Exactly.
So that's very
see, and those are the factors that we can easily point out. Oh, I didn't have a father in the home. I didn't have this and I didn't have that. We all at some point didn't have fathers, or might not have had a mother, or might not have a stable household, or whatever the case may be. We all had that at some point.
exactly.
So those are that's easy pickings. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go for the easy pickings. I want to go for the rational things that's going to actually make sense. Because I can tell them, oh yeah, I didn't have a father, so that's why I chose to go to the streets. Well, they can look at me and be like, well, you always in jail, or you're not always in my life. So I can use that as a reason to go and do what you're doing.
Exactly.
Who are you to try to speak to me about this and this, and you're living this way?
Exactly. I was
like that too.
I was talking to a young man, and, you know, we journeying backwards and forth. You know, he got people from Los Angeles, so, you know, we engaged in the conversation. And he said he feel unfortunate with the thing that's happened to Keefy D, or whatever the case may be. And I told him, you know, if any outcome, if everything from any Bible scripture, Quran, or anything that say the number one, a man what he sowed, the kind of energy you put out is what you're going to get in return. If everybody outcome was roses at the end, then there's no examples to be made. So we were speaking on, like I said, if the fall of Puffy come, and I said, you can't live something so long and hide it, brush it under the rug, and be naive or arrogant and brag about it and make certain statements, in songs like, feds are not listening. And I'm saying that's the arrogance of man will be his own downfall. For a man who thinks of himself something which is nothing deceives himself. So I was trying to explain, to the youngster that I'm numb to it because I done seen it too many times. And I have no I'll have no ill will feelings, but I just go with according to, any man who's in a position to better himself and others around him and choose to take fame, fortune and fame, or as revenue and live a glamorous life and ball till you fall, and knowing that you got these demons, hidden in the closet. When your fall come, I'm not going to praise it, but I just know that that's going to be your outcome. Your end, the way you put what you put in the game will be your end game. So he was kind of, yeah, that makes sense. And he came back to me like, yeah, they call me OG now, you make 50, you ain't no longer just, that they say OG, and I'll be letting them know I ain't no OG. I come from a long line of OGs, but anyway, I take it how they give it. And he was like, man, I thought about that, saying, you right. And this kind of little hard head that I be talking to every now and then. So like I said, I only asked that in a one question and one word because that's how the media, they only utilize words and take one bad picture. Oh, this man has escaped. He's a lifetime felony, and when he was let free from jail, and then committed this crime and et cetera, et cetera. And then you got thousands of inmates that has been let out that has not been back, and it ain't just something highly emphasized in the media of those who's doing good. Not to mention you making moves from behind the wall that's positive and placing yourself in the position that when you get out, you can provide for your family, and that you're not caught into the glamorous part of it because you didn't already live that before, the finances start kicking in for the, the music that you make. So again, I commend you on having that answer because it's not a one word answer. It's going to take a multitude of things, like the brother Prentice who say, let them see live clippings of how we really live in jail. Let them see that you can't hide behind your name. You can't hide behind your big brother name. You become an individual when you hit prison. And we all have a group of people that start off with us to where you start looking over the years to see how many people then fell off, that went to the dark side of the yard, the road it up, name ain't no more good. And these was once, some people that we once worshiped and thought they was ooh-wee, but all along, the man in you is the man that lasts because, for one, I don't have to follow, but I can fall in. I can follow instructions. But when it comes to my manhood and something I strongly feel about, something I feel strongly about, then that's when I step outside the powwow and step outside the box and be like, well, look, man, I'll take mine like this, but I don't agree with this. I don't agree with something that it go totally against my manhood as a man first. Forget all that car and BG Ali. I go against this whole idea as a man. Because I see the falseness in it. I see different dudes' motives, and every one of these dudes got an interior motive to why they having these certain, opinions on certain men when we in the powwows. So I just believe that in this life, we need more to emphasize actions of things that's really taking place in these prisons. And they're hiding that part. And they only getting a false look of things through movies and through videos and this Instagram.
You gotta remember this. When it comes to the prison thing, man, these people are gonna put out there what they want you to see. They will never, it's a business. You know what I'm saying? This is $1 billion business. So they would never put anything out there that's gonna go against their money. We are all, each individual inmate in here is worth, what, 350-something thousand per year. Each individual inmate. You know what I'm saying? So just imagine them. They don't, that's why they are doing everything possible that they can to try to fight against them letting more people out of prison. They're losing money.
Exactly.
If they put us out, they're losing money. So they're doing everything. That's why they're trying to integrate the yards with the PCs and the main line, and they're trying to cause all that mass confusion. You know what I'm saying? To have everybody collide with each other, so they can go back to the people, the senators and all that. Look, they're animals. They can't even conduct themselves around each other. How can we let them out here amongst us?
Exactly.
You want these type of people living next door to you? And that's how they are pushing, bro. You know what I'm saying? So people got to be smart, think, and wake up and understand what the real is about what's going on in these prisons. And the only way that you're going to be able to do that is tapping in more with your people that's incarcerated. If you don't have a stable line of communication with any of your people that's locked up, or friends, family, or whoever, then how would you ever know other than what they put out there for you? They got shows like 48, lock up, and another 48, and you know what I'm saying? They putting these shows out that they want you to see.
Exactly.
You know, that's not real. That's not real prison. Real prison is where I'm at right now.
Exactly.
What I wake up to and go to sleep to every day. You know what I'm saying? I can get up and walk right behind me and look and see all the rest of this prison.
Exactly.
That's what reality is to me. You know what I'm saying? And I can tell you everything that goes on behind these walls, all the grit, they would never put out there. You know what I'm saying? Never. I've been sat there and watched them let people die right there. You know what I'm saying? When all they had to do is give a mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, and they refused to give it to them because they're an inmate.
Exactly.
I've seen that type of shit.
I know that it's a lot of people guys. So I always say that real men, I use the term fear the unknown. So when I say fear the unknown, you're a man regardless, but I have doubt and fear of the afterlife because I know we got to go there. I know it's going to happen, but I have no clue. Nobody has went there and came back and told me, man, it's like this or woo. So it's going to be a certain amount of fear. I don't know if it's the fear of the definition of a coward, are just fearing the actual unknown, the uncertainty of things. So being a child and you seeing people get out of prisons and you hearing these stories and different things like that, I know that your imagination of the unknown can be, captured by social media, and anything that they put out there, you're more likely to believe. So I really believe it's important for, like I said, you guys to talk and talk to the multitude, because there's so many of us youngsters coming to where, like I said, we glamorized it once. Any person that came up under me, I'm like, oh, that he a loc. Oh yeah, he gonna be the one. And all I can teach him is what I know. But my conscience is, man, it's either you gonna be killed, or you gonna be spending forever in jail. Now that's the conscious part of me knowing. But at the moment of getting caught up and I'm in that lifestyle, I'm like, yeah, you one of us, you ready. And so them same young dudes who like, hey, big homie, young, prison, all what they put. I said, man, prison is everything that you thought you saw on TV, that you heard, and a little bit more. I say, I done seen it all from everything you can talk about, from men losing their manhood to men giving up their manhood. I say, it exists. I say, now, in my time, a lot of it has dissipated because of the way they got the yard set up, and you got to go to different places and different things if that's your thing. But I said, but man, don't act like it can't exist. And I said, but one thing a man always going to respect is manhood. So get that out of your mindset that you love whoop-de-whoop. Are you big whoop-de-whoop? I said, none of that gonna mean a thing without what's really embedded in your manhood. Because even me, that's like any man who know me and walked the yard with me, I hated that approach when people walked up and they called me whoop-de-whoop from whoop. And man, this is what will first, that automatically mess up us resolving that issue, because you started off with that aggressiveness of I'm supposed to bow down because of who you is and where you from. Approach me with the issue so we can deal with the issue at hand. Introduce yourself as, I'm with the whoop and with the whoop, we got a problem. They owe this or this and that and blase, blase. So all my teachings to my youngsters is my experience. And if I was in the rap game and somebody was like, well, you say this and you say that and I'll tell them in a minute. You got to differentiate. They had a song by Eminem, and he said, that one song when he's dealing with influence, and it was like, I didn't know that I'd be this big to where, kids would want to do this and, and he showed a big picture of America. He said, I couldn't went in London and you couldn't get a drink past customs. And then he just showing how all these guns over here, all this dope over here. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he mentioned Schwarzenegger shooting up some Uzi, and it was 17 and your little 12-year-old girl in makeup. And the song was deep. And people not understanding the metaphors of that deepness, so they look at Eminem as some type of, freak. And once I went to school and did college, went to college and did English class, I learned the ironing of something when you're actually, depicting America or depicting the judgmental people. And all of this is a form of what we call free expression. But you try to box our free expression, our free freedom of speech. You try to classify it and justify it as we some type of animals, but we're only venting. We're only articulating our adventures. You get what I'm saying? So, like I said, you got these artificial dudes and you got these real dudes. And the artificial, not to knock them because I love Chris Brown music and Soulja Boy, but they're want to go have a video fighting in Treetop, Peru, and whatever the case may be, after you done got billions and billions of dollars. Well, not billions, I'm going to just say millions of dollars. And somebody can pay me $500,000 to never say cuz or never cuss. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be ready for that. But you want to influence people to live our lifestyle when I'm trying to snatch every black man possible in my journey to be like, look, man, this ain't the route to go. If you gotta go and whoop, I can give you the real, or I can give you why not to be real. Because real is only an interpretation or one's perspective. You get what I'm saying? You got real.
Think about how powerful a lifestyle got to be, how powerful and addictive a certain lifestyle has to be to influence a Chris Brown and a Soulja Boy to rebirth and want to go and be like these dudes.
Man, I'm saying, speak on it.
How powerful and addictive this lifestyle is. You got millionaire dudes that want to be like you, me, called top-notch dudes. These top-notch artists is making all these millions of dollars that want to revert and go and live this so-called gangster lifestyle, you know, possibly because they done had some publicists that they done hired and they got in their ear and told them you need a more edgy lifestyle. You know, if you got any street credibility, go and try to, you know, get your street cred up. That'll bring a different demographic to your fan base, and they stupid enough to go do it. You know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, they in these dudes' hoods getting beat up and punched out, and you know what I'm saying? And now they putting this stuff in their music, trying to glamorize this stuff, you know, and your whole gangsterism is made up. It's false.
And everybody knows.
Yeah, you got people like us that's, you know, we're not just fighting to get out of a bad situation, but we're fighting to get out that situation to make that situation better. You know what I'm saying? It was always in the hopes, you know, that we can build our community. Build it. Not destroy it, but build it up. You know, to have a safe haven for our mothers and fathers and brothers and sisters, nieces and nephews to grow up in and don't have to look over their shoulder and worry about somebody coming and harming them, or worry about somebody breaking into your house and stealing your car, or snatching your mama's purse or something. You know what I'm saying? So it was always the hopes of building our community and making things better. If you are in a bad situation, that is the hopes. You know what I'm saying? It's not about destroying. But it always amazes me when you have these dudes that got all this money that has been put in a very blessed and fortunate situation that, for whatever reason, want to go backwards and start trying to catch cases and hang out and be super crip and super blood, you know what I'm saying, and super thug and super this and super that, and incorporating all this shit into their music. And that's what I, you know, dislike about the music game is the falsisms. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
People, they put in those positions for a reason. So when they get to doing too much, then it start raining down on the rest of us that's trying to climb up. And now you got those that's up top that's blocking us because of these idiots.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So when we speak in our truth becomes, oh, it's too, y'all glamorizing this lifestyle. And no, we're not. We're telling you about this lifestyle so to keep people from going that route.
Exactly.
In comparisons to a Chris Brown or a Soulja Boy that is trying to lead people to that.
Exactly.
Because they are millionaires and making everybody think that it's cool to go that route.
Exactly.
It's a difference. It's a difference in what's glamorized in the music. All you got to do is listen to it. Just because I'm on a lower level than them, you know what I'm saying? It's a message in there. Listen to it. They got the top-notch studios and all. They can put all the fancy stuff into their stuff. You know what I'm saying? And people take that in and think that there's truth behind what they putting into their music, and there's no truth behind none of it because they're not really living like that. When we really living like that, we really showing you and painting that picture out on what goes on in our hoods and what we see and in our families and our lifestyles and our daily way of living. I can tell you about that all day, every day. But I cannot sit here and paint you no picture about Beverly Hills. I've never lived there.
Exactly. So do you think it's ever too late for us to ever rebuild our communities? Do you think we living in a lost time to where we're just gonna see the devastation of a black culture, of a black community that was once was?
I'm gonna keep it real, right? I think it is too late, just based on the communities have been gone out of our hands, and now the communities have been put in the hands of all these white developers, and they've moved a lot of people out of their hoods, out of their communities, and rebuilt it themselves.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And moved in a whole bunch of other people that, that's not us. Let's just put it that way. So how can you rebuild something that you have no longer control over?
Exactly.
They done moved all the families out. You know what I'm saying? They done tore down some of the schools. They done tore down your old house. They done tore down some of the stores you grew up going to. How can you rebuild that? And everybody done rerouted out to Arizona or Texas.
Yeah, it's a eradication. It goes to what I was talking about as far as history. A lot of black people was agreeing on, they tearing down a Confederate statue and such. And I say, that's all good and dandy, because eradication is for you to try to forget something that ever exists. But you don't want to forget that slavery existed. You don't want to forget, that Hitler once was. So I disagree with eradicating that, because it shows what eradication does. They eradicate our own communities, our environments, sent us all out to Lancaster, Palmdale, and all these places, made that the new ghettos, came back, rebuilt Compton, rebuilt it. Like out here, I come back and I'm riding down Broadway and see white girls running at like 2 a.m. I'm like, wow, this is different. And so what had happened, they then came back to the original communities and moved all the ignorant people out and rebuilding the homes to where they worth more than what it was when you owned a home, in Oak Park. And when you see these things and you're trying to explain to people the games that already been played, is so scattered, they so far distant to grasp that understanding that it's like it's a waste of time. So I don't never say my business of my personal training business is never too late fitness. So I'm big on saying something is too late, because it's never too late. But what is seeming to be too late is the mindset of a lot of real men, because we are now can't be put in the position to do no type of crime. We can't even slap nobody. We can't even grab a youngster and shake him and be like, man, what is you doing? Because now they'll use that as a violent act and then throw 30, 40 years overhead to make us take a ooh-wee deal, when you can go into Walmart and see a lady, stop it, Brian, and shake her son half to death, and it'll just be like, nothing was ever done. So it's just too many tricks and too many, traps set for us to even advance.
So let me ask you this, in regards to the community. How do we gather that back then?
How do we gather that back?
How do we gather back the essence of the community that we was brought up in? How do we go about gathering that back from these developers that tore down all these different things and rebuilt and restructured, basically the whole city? How do we gather that back from them?
Okay, so my number one thing will be, we pressure homies that's rich. We pressure people who come from Compton, Duroc, all the places where ghetto exists, and you reap the benefits of being part of this ghetto, and y'all come together with these developers and come with money and buy these communities back. Or if we're going to eradicate something, start new communities. Like, it's enough black men in power that talk all that blackness, but they ain't putting their money where their mouth is. So, you know what I'm saying? You can get people, and slowly, it's just like having a concentration camp. Names of different people. You go through the research and history, and you don't let bums and people who's not going to work and people who's not of that movement came moving to these communities. And once you build these communities and you got people who's, giving back to the community, people who's, gonna be part of the movement, the real movements, and you slowly build. And when you build something, the youth, they get the proper school, they get the proper teachings, they get to understand what prison is really about, what crime is about, why the different people do, certain thing. They teach it in college and have no clue of what we went through, based on social economics. And when I'm in class and I'm, conflicting with the, the professor, I'm telling him, you telling me something from a point of view of what you taught by a book. And I'm telling you something that I disagree because of experience. I don't care what my experience gonna trump your book knowledge. I don't care what they teach you when you're trying to be a CEO and you finally get in there. Everything changed once you start working in the prison, and once you'll start seeing things that you be like, oh wow, I was misled, or I was this, or I was that. You will see the psychology behind anger and why certain people take off on the CEOs and certain things, because all things are part of their game and their game plan. But any prison that's ran correctly and ran with a sense of respect, always a prison that runs smoothly. You get less lockdowns, you get more programs going on. And see, they want to take what they call the hardcore criminals. All it is I'm on the main line. I don't want to go sleep with gophers and rats in order for me to get the benefits of me rehabilitating myself. You get what I'm saying? It's a code of honor, and then it's accountability. Those who went over to the dark side because they didn't want they had lack of accountability. They didn't want to be accountable for their actions. And certain prisons know the 3-on-1s and the certain things and why we remove and do certain things, and then other COs prey off of it. False kites and false things and different things. So we got to learn how to govern over ourselves as a people first. And it's going to take like-minded people. It's programs and different movements that be out here working, and it eventually deviates. Like Black Lives Matter.
When it comes to that, exactly what you're talking about, it's never too late for that.
Exactly.
It's never too late for that. Never.
Exactly.
Never. You know what I'm saying? That's actually building and constructing a stronger foundation from the root. So yeah, it's never too late for that. Oh, I'm absolutely 100% behind you with that. Absolutely.
Exactly. That's why they say cancer can't be peeled, scraped, layered. It has to be eradicated. It's too much bloodshed. It's too much cancerous in certain neighborhoods to where if that cancer is never eradicated, if you never remove all sick-minded and cancerous type of individuals, you can't just build on that foundation. So sometimes the foundation have to be moved away. I'm born in Compton. I'm from Compton. Compton is within me, but Compton is not my overall identification of who I am as a man. You get what I'm saying? So that's why they notice the songs that make a lot of money and get a lot of airtime. You could take the homeboy out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the homeboy. It makes sense. But then it was just, I'm the homeboy, can't take the hood. But we didn't see the psychological articulation of that.
Not taking the origin, not taking that away. It's about building that original structure.
Exactly.
To its finest under our control. Not nobody else.
It's control. There you go.
Under ours. And like you said, it has to be all top notch, not no bum ass dudes. Top notch, like-minded people that can come in and get the job done. That's gonna do the work.
Exactly.
That's gonna do all the footwork.
Exactly.
So, yeah, you're right. I'm a big
you gotta look at the Muslim Foundation and how they govern over their own people, and they have militant type Muslims, people who's ready, for whatever. It's the original thing what Crip was made up of. and we took it somewhere else and started, gang banging and want to destroy our own people and believing that this dude is the enemy and et cetera, et cetera. But like I said, we can go, all day with these what ifs and et cetera. Right now, we just, want to reach, whoever can be reached and make sure that, we put out, y'all stories that y'all see, that they hear and see y'all stories firsthand. And you one of the persons that I can really say, I'm proud that you blessed the platform by just being able to still make moves. It take a certain kind of mental and a certain kind of ambition to still, reach your dreams and your goals from incarceration. So I'm gonna say before we end this, is it any shout out or a word that you want to get or something important that you want people to know about Mr. Duroc Creep?
Well, I look at this like this, man. Us having the conversation that we have, the back and forth, I believe that alone is going to be strong enough of a message to get across to anybody, young, old, anybody, because the dialogue is so real and so on point. You can't deny it. Where you gonna get this anywhere else? You know what I mean? You get a direct, live response, back and forth. You take that, incorporate that into your life, and understand this is a man that's telling you from his experiences only. I'm not preaching to you. I'm not talking down to you. None of that. I'm telling you from my experiences only, man. And I'm making moves. I'm doing my thing. I'm doing this and that from this position. But at the same time, you don't never want to be in this position. I don't want to be in this position. You know what I'm saying? Never. I don't wish this on nobody. You know what I mean? But at the same token, I believe, if your mind is focused on being a better person and accomplishing certain things, you're going to do it. You know what I'm saying? No matter where you at. But take this and let this be a lesson and run with it. You know what I mean?
All right, for sure. Well, once again, man, thank you for, blessing the platform. And we're going to pray that, your outcome be sooner than soon.
Sure. Hey, it's always a pleasure, man. Anytime you call me, I'm coming. Anytime, you already know. We locked in.
All right, for sure. Have a blessed one.
Cool, brother.
Yeah.
Creep, much love for the show, big bro. Appreciate your love. Black Mage, Prentice, Young Jay, Duroc. We all need to have a dialogue, brother. We need to really get in this conversation. We need to really get this conversation going on how we can build and how we can help our communities. We all come from that life. We all did things out there in the streets. We all have something to bring to the table. We all done sit behind these walls. We didn't study. We didn't contemplate it. We didn't reflect on our errors. We didn't reflect on our trials and the tribulation and things that led us down the path that it led us down. We need to really get involved in this conversation. We need to really, I'm talking about really chop it up. It's going to be some things said that someone's going to agree with. It's going to be some things said that someone's going to disagree with us. But the fact is that we're having this conversation, that we're putting ourselves in a position from behind this wall, you know what I mean, to utilize the technology as it is to be able to address the issues that needs to be addressed. We have to be men about this. And we have to inspire others to be willing to take this walk with us. We have the brother B.G. Ali, and we have other brothers as well that's out there that is willing, to help facilitate this, to help push this through. But we need to be in this conversation. You know what I mean? So I ask you, Big Meech, being Black Meech, I ask you, Prentice, I ask you, Young Jay, I ask you, Duroc, all you brothers have shown a high degree of intelligence. For to be placed in this wall, to be thrown away, to be tossed to the side as though you have no value. You know what I mean? It is time for us as young men, as young minds, as individuals who came within this system, went through the things that we went through, right? We need to be able to show them and to teach our own that this is not the way, but at the same time, this is how you rebuild. This is how you refocus. This is how you reconstitute and reconstruct your communities based upon these particular principles, these particular moral values, these particular belief systems that have substance to them, not those things that would deter, destroy, or burn us down. So again, with that, I leave as I came. Abdullah the Black Sheep.
It's on us, hashtag because it is.